what brought me joy. Of all the things that I was doing in my life, what was the thing when I had it on my calendar that I would jump out of bed for, that would change the way I felt about the day? And it always it went back to mentoring. Because while I was doing all this stuff in law, in my education, I was always finding ways to help younger kids understand how to get here. So it was the mentoring piece that brought me absolute joy, So I started really trying to listen to that self-interested part of me. It's like, what made me happy? I never asked myself that. I always did what I thought I was supposed to do. And making money was one of the things that you were supposed to do if you were anyone who had an opportunity to get an Ivy League education. That was really all they talked about. That's all they showed you.
Yeah.
There wasn't a course or a major in helping people. There wasn't a course on working with young kids. There's no major for that, especially in the Ivy Leagues. Oh, by then he had written his book because he was the president of the Harvard Law Review. The president of the Harvard Law Review is the top student at the top law school in the world. And he was the first Black student to be elected president of the Harvard Law Review. And that garnered a lot of attention for him. We were dating at the time. And so he got a book contract to write his story, Dreams from My Father, which I thought was, who writes a book at your age, right? But he was like, yeah, I might as well tell my story. And, and it was money, right? He got an advance and we were engaged. So he was working on that project, but he was still trying to figure out what he was going to do. And when you're the president of the Harvard Law Review, basically the world of law is open to you. The normal path is that you clerk for an appellate judge for a year or two, and then you go on to clerk for the Supreme Court. Then, you go on to do appellate work. You have offers from every law firm. You are in demand, or you can do policy or whatever. That was the normal path. I was like, so are you going to clerk? He was like, why would I clerk? So he didn't work at any of the big firms. He went to a very small firm that was doing public interest work. So he wasn't making a lot of money. He was doing what I was doing. He was going the opposite direction of all the things that were supposed to make us money. But he was like, money isn't why I'm doing this. I'm trying to figure out how I can best use my skills to impact the most people. So he was doing 50 million jobs. And we were cobbling together our payments for our student loans at the time, which were more than our mortgage. We had bought a condominium. We were on our way to building our lives together, but we were in deep debt. So while we were both pursuing our deep love of being in the community, our incomes were going in the opposite direction of where they were supposed to go. But we were in this together. Politics hadn't really come into the fold yet. It wasn't a part of the conversation. But we were both kind of on these parallel paths, kind of figuring out how do we take all these skills and all this energy and help people. I was working in the city. He was working everywhere else and writing a book. And we were just kind of, we were sort of plotting ahead.
Let us slow down for a second. What you just heard from Michelle Obama is not a feel-good quote. It is a practical way to find the parts of your life that actually make you feel alive. Most of us were trained to chase the right thing, not the true thing. Get the good grades, get the safe job, make more money, look successful, be responsible. None of that is bad. The problem is, you can do all of it and still feel empty on a random Tuesday. Your calendar is full, your phone never stops buzzing, you are doing what you are supposed to do, yet the day still feels heavy. You get to the end of the week and think, why do I feel behind when I never stopped moving? Michelle admits something many high achievers do not say out loud. She says, I never ask myself what made me happy. That is the trap. When you never ask, you end up living on autopilot. You get good at pleasing teachers, bosses, family, even strangers online. Meanwhile, your real joy gets pushed aside because it does not look impressive on paper. And notice what her answer was. Not a title, not a paycheck. It was mentoring, helping younger people understand how to get where she was. That was the thing on her calendar that made her jump out of bed. That clue matters. Joy leaves fingerprints. Your best moments are not random. They point to a direction. She also tells a second story that makes this real. She talks about Barack Obama, with every door in the law world open, choosing public interest work instead of the normal path. They had student loans, they had a mortgage. Their income went the opposite way of what people expected, yet they were building a life that felt aligned with their values. They were not chasing comfort first, they were chasing meaning, then figuring out the money side with time and teamwork. Now, I am not telling you to quit your job tomorrow or ignore responsibilities. This is not about running away from real life. This is about learning how to listen to the part of you that knows what matters, then making small choices that bring you closer to it. So, here is what we are going to do. We are going to turn Michelle's message into 3 simple questions you can answer today. Question 1 is the calendar test. What on your schedule gives you energy before it even starts? Question 2 is should versus want. Are you doing this because you want it or because you think you are supposed to? Question 3 is skills plus impact. How can you use what you are good at to help people in a way that feels meaningful? When you answer these 3 questions, you do not just get motivation, you get direction. You start making choices that fit you, not just choices that look good. All right, let us start with question 1, because it is the easiest to spot and the hardest to ignore once you see it. Michelle asked herself, what was the thing on my calendar that would make me jump out of bed? That is not a mystical question. It is practical. Your calendar is where your real life lives. It shows what you spend time on, what you keep delaying, and what you make room for. So here is question 1. What on your schedule gives you energy before it even starts? To answer it, do not think about your dream life. Look at your actual week. Think back to the last 2 weeks and ask, when did I feel lighter? When did I lose track of time? When did I feel proud after? Also, notice your body. When you talk about that activity, do you sit up straighter? Do you speak faster? Do you smile without trying? For some people, the answer is creative. Editing a video, cooking, writing, designing, building something with your hands. For others, it is people-focused. Teaching a coworker, helping a younger cousin with school, being the friend who listens. For others, it is problem-solving, fixing a process, organizing chaos, making a plan. If you are thinking, I do not have anything like that, widen the search. Joy is not always loud. Sometimes it is quiet relief, like finishing a workout and feeling your mind settle, or cleaning your space and breathing easier, or reading 10 pages and feeling calm again. Even small moments count because they show what your nervous system likes. Now flip the lens for a moment. What is the thing on your calendar that you dread? That matters too. If you have 5 days of dread and 1 day of life, happiness will always feel far away. Dread is not always a sign to quit, but it is a sign to adjust. Sometimes you need a new skill. Sometimes you need a boundary. Sometimes you need to stop saying yes out of guilt. Here is a quick exercise. Draw 2 columns, energizing and draining. List 5 things from your recent schedule in each. Keep it honest. Nobody is grading you. Now look at the energizing side and ask, what is the common thread? Is it helping people? Is it learning? Is it leading? Is it creating? Is it being outdoors? That thread is your clue. Then do one small move. Add one more of that thread to your next week. If mentoring lights you up, offer a junior coworker a 10-minute chat. If movement clears your head, schedule a walk after work twice this week. If creating gives you joy, block 1 hour on Saturday morning for a personal project. The calendar test is not asking, what makes me comfortable? It is asking, what makes me feel engaged? Sometimes what brings joy is also challenging. Mentoring takes energy. Learning a skill can be frustrating, but the difference is, it feels worth it. Once you see what gives you energy, the next question is why you keep ignoring it. That is where should versus want comes in. Michelle said, I always did what I thought I was supposed to do. That one line explains why so many people feel stuck even when life looks fine. You can be doing well and still feel off because the life you built is based on should. So here is question 2. Am I doing this because I want it or because I think I am supposed to? This is not about being selfish. It is about being honest. There are responsibilities you cannot skip, but inside all of that, There are choices you are making for approval, status, or fear. Those choices quietly drain you. Should comes from many places: family expectations, culture, friends, social media, the version of success you saw growing up. Sometimes you are chasing a goal because years ago you thought it would prove something. Here are a few everyday examples. You choose a course you do not enjoy because it sounds impressive. You stay in a job you hate because it pays well and people praise you for it. You buy things you do not need because you want to look like you have it together. You keep saying yes to plans because you are afraid of disappointing people. None of that makes you a bad person. It makes you human. The issue is that should is never satisfied. You hit one milestone, then it moves. That is why people keep chasing and still feel empty. To apply this question, do a quick should scan. Finish this sentence 5 times. I should. Do not filter. I should be further ahead. I should earn more. I should be thinner. I should have it figured out. Now look at each should and ask, who taught me this? And do I agree with it today? You will be surprised how many rules you are following that you never chose. Then do the want side. Finish this sentence 5 times. I want. Keep it simple. I want more energy. I want calmer mornings. I want work that feels meaningful. I want stronger friendships. I want time to create. Now compare the lists. Where are you spending most of your week? On the should list or the want list? Here is the key. You do not have to burn your whole life down to honor what you want. Start with one small replacement. Replace one draining should activity with one small want action this week. If you should always be available, but you want peace, stop answering messages after a certain time. If you should take every meeting, but you want focus, block one no meeting hour each day. If you should scroll to stay updated, but you want sleep, charge your phone outside the bedroom. Michelle did not say money is evil. She said money was what everyone talked about, so she followed that script until she listened to what made her happy. The lesson is not to reject success. The lesson is to define success for yourself. Now we move to question 3. Once you know what gives you energy and what pressures are steering you, you can ask the most powerful question of all. How can I use my skills to impact people in a way that feels meaningful? In the clip, Michelle talks about mentoring being the thing that brought her joy. Then she describes Barack choosing public interest work when he could have taken the traditional path that paid more. The common thread is impact. They wanted their skills to matter to other people. So here is question 3. How can I use what I am good at to help people in a way that feels meaningful? This matters because happiness is not only pleasure. Pleasure is great, but it fades fast. Meaning lasts longer. Meaning makes hard work feel worth it. It gives you a reason to keep going when life is stressful. Impact does not have to mean saving the world. Impact can be small and still be real. Think of a teacher who believed in you once, a friend who listened when you were falling apart, a coworker who showed you how to do something. That is impact, not a headline, a moment. Start by listing your skills. Do not overthink. What do people ask you for help with? What comes easier to you than others? What do you explain well? What problems do you solve? You might be good at organizing. You might be good at teaching. You might be calm in a crisis. You might be creative. You might be good with numbers. You might be good at making people feel seen. Now ask, who could benefit from that? If you feel unsure, start small. One person, one problem, 1 hour. The goal is to test what feels meaningful, not to design a perfect life plan on day 1. If you are good at explaining, mentor someone younger at work. If you are good at fitness, help a friend build a simple routine. If you are good at writing, help someone with a resume. If you are good at planning, volunteer to organize a small event. If you are good at listening, check on someone who is struggling. Here is a simple way to test this without changing your whole career. Do 1 impact rep this week. 1. Set up a short call to help someone. Volunteer 1 hour. Teach 1 thing. Share 1 resource. Offer 1 piece of guidance. Then notice how you feel after. Some people feel calmer. Some feel proud. Some feel connected. Write down what you felt in 1 sentence, because that reaction is a clue you can use again. This question can also reshape your career over time. You might not quit your job, but you can adjust your direction. Maybe you take on projects that involve mentoring, training, or supporting a team. Maybe you move toward roles that fit your strengths. Maybe you build a side project that lets you help people directly. Michelle and Barack had debt and real bills, yet they still chose paths aligned with values. That does not mean it was easy. It means they had clarity. Clarity makes trade-offs bearable. That leads to the next part. What do you do when the meaningful path pays less, takes longer, or feels risky? How do you balance joy and responsibility? Let us talk about that honestly. A lot of people hear stories like this and think, must be nice, but Michelle includes the part most people skip. The student loans were more than their mortgage. They were in deep debt. Their income went the opposite way of what everyone expected. They were still building a life while choosing work that mattered. That is the reality check. Happiness is not always the highest paycheck. Sometimes the happiest direction is slower. Sometimes it costs comfort for a while. The goal is not to be reckless. The goal is to be intentional. So how do you apply this when you have bills and responsibilities? First, think in seasons, not forever. You do not need one purpose for life. You can choose a direction for this season. A season can be 30 days, 6 months, or a year. During that time, you build skills, create stability, and move closer to what gives you joy. Maybe you cannot switch careers right now, but you can spend 3 nights a week learning a skill. Maybe you cannot volunteer every week, but you can mentor one person a month. Maybe you cannot take a pay cut today, but you can build savings so you have options later. Second, separate needs from noise. You need shelter, food, and basic stability. You do not need every upgrade your feed tells you to buy. Many people stay trapped because spending is tied to status. They chase the look of success, then they cannot afford the life that would actually feel fulfilling. If you want more freedom, cut one status expense and use that money to buy time, training, or rest. Third, bring someone into the conversation. Michelle said they were in it together. That matters. If you have a partner, talk about what you value, not only what you fear. If you are single, talk to a friend who wants the best for you. A good conversation can stop you from making choices based on panic. Fourth, build joy into your current life while you work on the bigger direction. Some people delay happiness until everything is solved. That is a trap. If mentoring lights you up, do it now in small ways. If creating makes you feel alive, start a small project on weekends. If community matters, join a group once a month. Small joy is not a distraction, it is fuel. Finally, remember that happiness is not a constant feeling. It is a pattern. It is more days that feel aligned than days that feel forced. It is waking up and having at least one thing to look forward to, even if life is busy. So the point of these 3 questions is not to chase a perfect life. It is to build a life that fits. A life where your calendar has moments you care about. A life where you are not only doing what you should do. A life where your skills help people in a way that matters. Now let us put this into action with a simple follow-through plan you can do today. Step 1. Do a joy audit with your calendar. Look back at the last 14 days and mark the moments that gave you energy. A workout, a deep talk, a project you enjoyed, helping someone. Then look at the next 7 days and schedule one small block that matches that pattern. Even 30 minutes counts. If you never schedule joy, your week will fill up with other people's priorities. Step 2. Run the should versus want test. Write one draining sentence that starts with I should. Then write one honest sentence that starts with I want. Make one small trade this week. Replace 1 hour of the draining should with one want action. If you should stay available but you want peace, stop replying after a set time. If you should scroll to stay updated but you want sleep, keep your phone out of the bedroom. Step 3. Do one impact rep using your skills. Pick one person you can help this week and offer one small thing you do well. A 10-minute mentoring chat, a resume review, a lesson, a resource list. Then notice how you feel after. If you feel more like yourself, that is a sign you are close to what brings real happiness. Now here is the closing thought. Tomorrow morning, your day will try to claim you. Messages, errands, stress, noise. If you do nothing, the week will drag you wherever it wants. But if you place one meaningful thing on your calendar, you change the direction of the day. That is why Michelle asked, what would make me jump out of bed? Happiness is not only something you find, It is something you choose, then protect. Ask the 3 questions again this week. What gives me energy? What am I doing for should? How can I use my skills to help someone? Do that long enough, and you will not just look successful, you will feel fulfilled.